Okay, so let's keep moving forward. The next thing is going to be doing this tiny piece of code, the videos, the list of videos, and we have a button right here. So this is what we're going to be doing now. We're going to go a little bit faster because we already did the news list, so everything is going to look a little bit similar to news list. So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to start creating this. I'm going to create the component. It's going to be called videos and then list, and this is going to be receiving, it's going to be passing some props, just like we did on top. So we're going to have a type, just like we did on top, it's going to be card. Okay. Now, if you notice right here, we have a title. So I'm going to be passing a prop that says that the title is true. So if it's true, it's going to show a title. If not, it's not going to show it. So in this case, since it's home, I'm going to say true. What else? We're going to have a button. This one is a link. It's not a load more button. So, okay. So what I'm going to say load more, and I'm going to be setting this to false. So if we have a false, instead of showing a load more, it's going to show a link to the section. Okay. Then we have a start. Remember that we need to fetch the articles. So it's going to start at 0, and I'm going to set an amount, and the amount is going to be 3. We're just going to fetch 3 different articles. We don't have this component just yet. I'm going to go to widgets and create the component. It's going to be a videos list. Makes sense? Videos list. Sounds right. And inside, I'm going to say videos list.js. So inside this videos list, we can do a lot of things. First, it's going to be a class-based component. So we need to import React, and we need to bring component to the equation. Component. Let me make it right. Components. Very good. And it's going to be from React. What else? We're going to be using styles. We don't have it. I'm going to create it right now. So it's going to be import styles from, and the name is going to be /videos list.css. I'm going to go and create it right now, just to avoid that error message. It's going to be videos and list.css. Good. What else? We're going to do a request. So we need to import Axios from Axios. What else? To do a network request, we need the URL. So we're going to import the URL from config, from the config file. URL. What else? From, and it's going to be, I believe it was // and then config. Very good. What else? We are going to be using buttons. So we have a reusable component for that. So it's going to be buttons, button from, and it's going to be // buttons, and then buttons. Very good. Okay, I'm going to create the class. So it's going to be class, and then videos list, just like that, and extends, and then extends components. Right, we have the class. We're going to be using state, just like we did with news list right here. It's pretty much the same idea. So I'm gonna go and say state is going to be equal to and something else. If you notice, we have right here, we have the Celtics, we have the name of the team. So we're going to do the same logic than before. We're going to fetch the teams and pass it to the component card info, because of course we need that data. So we're going to say teams is going to be equal to an array. Then we're going to have videos after we make the network request. We're going to have a start, just like the other component, and this is going to be passed as props right here. So we're going to say this, that props, that start, and that's the thing. Now, all of this logic, fetching the teams, fetching the videos, and everything else, we could do everything at once from the main application. If the index would be a functional component, not a functional component, a class-based component, we could fetch the list, all the things that we need at first, and then pass everything as props. But I didn't want to pass the things, the props, through like 10 different components, because then after this, we're going to go to different things. We're going to learn to do different things, but then we're going to reach the Redux part of the course, and this logic is going to get a little bit simpler. It's going to get complex, but simpler at the end. Don't worry. Okay, so we have the start. What else are we passing? we are passing the amount. So we need to set the end, just like we did right here with news list. The end is going to be the this.props plus the amount. So I'm going to copy and do the same thing. This.props start and amount. We need to have an amount. It's going to be equal to this.props.amount. Okay. Everything looks good. We need to render something at least. We need to at least render a div. So it's going to be render opening close, and then we're going to return opening close, just a div with the list, whatever. I'm going to go right here, export default, and I believe it was called videos list. Videos and then list. Very good. So everything looks ready. The only thing that we didn't do is to include this component inside home. So I'm gonna import it, and then it's gonna be called import. There we go, and then videos, and then list from /widgets/ news list / and there we go. So after a while, everything is just pretty much the same. You're just typing the same thing all over again. We are making just one change, but everything it's looks the same. After you get used to work with React, everything is gonna be real easy because it's the same procedure. And with Redux we have the same thing. It's hard to understand how to use Redux, but once you get it, it's the same thing all over again. Okay, so let's go to videos list. We are including it. Everything looks fine. So if I go right here, we are not getting any errors. Let me reload this again. My mistake. Okay, so we have load more news, and let me double check why. Videos list. It's because news list. That's the problem. Videos list. / let me just change it. / videos list, not news list. Maybe you were home and says, dude, it's not news list, it's videos list. Well, yeah, you're right. Okay, so we are getting the word list, that string. So we are on the good track right here. So what is the first thing we're gonna do? We're gonna do the title. We can start easy, towards baby steps. So we're gonna start with the NVA video title. So I want this to be a function. Why? Because inside videos list, we are passing a prop saying that we want to display it, but if this is false, we don't want a title. So we're gonna write a function that is gonna be checking for that. So it's gonna be this dot render and then title, and for now we are not gonna pass anything, and this is up to you. I'm gonna show you something else right now. So we're gonna be calling to a function that it's gonna be deciding to render the title or not. So it's gonna be render title equals to, for now, nothing. And now we're gonna be returning, and what we need to do, we need to check if the prop it's true or false. So what we could do this.props.title, and if it's true, we want to show something, but if it's not, we want to show something else. Just like this, use a ternary. And if we don't want a title, if this.props the title it's false, we want to say null. And right here we're gonna return an h3 tag, a title, h3, and inside a strong I'm gonna say NBA, and then right here videos, whatever. So if we go, we are getting NBA videos. So that works. Another thing that you could do, I like to do this. Some people don't like it because we are repeating code, and they are right. What you could do is pass this.props.title as an argument, and then say title right here, and then title right here, and it's still gonna work. It's the same thing. I like to do this way, but they are right. We are just repeating code and writing more. Okay, so this.props.title, the title works fine. I'm gonna add a class to the container so we can style the title and be done with that. Class name, what else? Class name is gonna be equal to styles dot and videos, video list, whatever, underscore wrapper. Okay, We don't have this class, so I'm going to create a class for this. So now we're going to be styling the h3. So I'm going to make a reference to this, and then I'm going to say whenever we get an h3, we want to do something. So it's going to be text align. It's going to be center, margin, and the margin is going to be 20 pixels, whatever. Then color, and the color is going to be, I don't know, 35, 35, 35, 35, kind of a dark-ish color. Font weight, 300. It's going to be really slim. And then font size, the font size is going to be 21 pixels. All right, let me reload the application, and we get it. That's good. Looks nice, just like the other one. Yeah. Okay, so we are done with the title. The next thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna be adding right here. We're gonna be adding this button, and remember that we are importing the template button at the top. So if I go to button and we check it out, we are just rendering a template. So the only thing that we need to do is to pass the load more if we want to load more. If not, we're going to pass something else, and we're going to create a new case for this. Okay, so now we're going to be adding the button. If we remember inside home, we are saying that we will not display the load more. We don't want to do that. We want to display just the link. So if load more is false, we display a link, and if it's true, we display the load more button. So I'm going to go to load videos list, and we are including the button template right here at the top. So it's pretty much the same idea than render title. We need to create a function that is going to be checking if it's true or false, and then it's going to render something if it's false, and something else if it's not false. So it's going to be a render, and I'm going to be call it render button. Makes sense? Yeah, why not? Button. Open and close. So now we don't have this function. I'm going to go right here at the top, and I'm going to call it again render button. It's going to be equal to something, close, open. Yeah, always the same thing. So again, we need to use ternary to check the props. So we're going to return, and then this dot props dot I believe it was load more. Let me just double check. Yeah, load more, no capital M. And this one is going to be returning something, and if it's something else, it's going to return something else. In this case, it's going to say load more. If not, it's going to be just a link, just like this. So right here, you're going to get a link because the load more, it's false. But if we change it to true, we should be getting the load more. So we do. That's good. So I'm going to go back to false, go back to videos list, and we're going to leave the load more towards the end. We're going to do it later. So, okay, so right here, we need to create a link. Now, if we go to the template of buttons.js, we only have a load more. So we kind of need to create a new scenario for this. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to start creating the actual button. So it's going to be button. Then it needs to have a type. And the other one was load more, but this one is going to be different. I'm going to call it link to. We need to have a CTA and the text inside the button that's going to say more videos. Then, since this is a link, we need to have the route. So it's link to equal, and we don't have this route, but we will create it later. It's going to be called videos, and then I'm going to close it. Okay, we don't have this template. We're going to go right here and start creating this template. So we need to add a new case. I'm going to say case, just like this. And the name of the case, the type, is going to be link to. So if the case is link to, we want to do something. Never forget to do the break. If not, nothing is going to get rendered. Break. There we go. So, okay, so we need to return a template that is going to be returning some JSX. Just like that. Real simple. Just the same thing we did before. Now this template is going to be returning a link. Now this link is going to have a to, and if we remember, we are passing the link inside props and link to. Okay, this link is going to have a class name, and the class name I'm going to say styles and then blue button, because they are pretty much the same button. We use the same thing. I'm going to close the link. And now inside, what we need to pass is the CTA. So I'm going to say props.cta. Okay, So if you notice, we have more videos. Now it looks different because this is a link and this is a div. So if I go to videos list, I'm going to say that this link, is going to be display blog, just like that. And I'm going to remove the text decoration just in case. So it's going to be none. And if we check it, nothing works. Okay, so let me save it just yet. Display blog. Let me check everything is right. Well, it should be working. A background, folder, column, padding. Oh, sorry, my mistake. This is not the class. Gonna go back, gonna close it and go to the button CSS. You know, that's the one we need. I was adding the classes on a different place. So okay, again, display block, text decoration, and okay, we get the more videos, and if I click it, it's gonna take us to videos. So that works. Now we need to do the opposite to add the load more. I'm gonna go back to videos list, and you know, it's the same idea than before. Whenever we put the load more, we're gonna need some props. Let me just delete this, and it's gonna be button. I'm gonna open and close, just like this. Sorry, there you go. And this button is gonna need some props. The type is gonna be, if you remember, load more. Now this load more needs a function that is going to be the load more. Remember that whenever we click it, we trigger something. We don't have this function and you're going to pass it, but we will create it in a minute. So it's going to be this dot load more, just like this. And then of course we have a CTA that is going to be load more, just like that, more videos. We don't have this function, so everything should be failing if we call it. So I'm going to create the load more and just leave it empty. Load more is going to be equal to, there we go, load more. It's going to be equal to something, open and close, and we are not going to return anything for now. So if I go, in theory, if I go to home and set it to true and check it, we should be getting load more videos instead of load more news. Nothing is going to work because we are not fetching the list of videos, but we're going to do it in a minute. Okay, so we have the title, we have the buttons, everything looks ready. The only thing that we need to do right now is to fetch the articles and put them inside and then link everything with the load more videos and the link. Okay, so let's go to the next video and do that.